Okay, this is in response to the speculation going on that the guy they took out of the woods in handcuffs, who may or may not have been running away from the police, was Chris Manfredonia. Uh, I guess they ran Manfredonia's name over the police radio. They did detain him and check him out. I'm not sure what point on the police audio that is. I don't know what time that was, but I've heard his name on there. Um, and then there's an article in LA Times that has two sentences about his story. He was heading to the school to make gingerbread houses when he heard popping sounds and smelled sulfur. So he smelled sulfur. 90% chance he was inside the building. Otherwise, you'd have to be just right outside. You'd have to be extremely close to where the shooting was taking place. He ran around the school trying to reach his daughter and was briefly handcuffed by police. So he smelled sulfur, he heard the shots, and he ran around the school. To me, when your kids are running around the house, that means they're running around inside the house. It doesn't mean you're outside the school running or outside running around. To me, I don't know. He later found his child, who was locked in a small room with a teacher. Okay, so that's all we have on this guy, and we know that the police did detain him. But here's another guy the police detained, and on the radio it does say parties in front of me suspected as well. So this guy was actually a suspect. His name is Christopher Rodia. You'll see him at 10:05, 47 a.m. on the police radio, his name being ran as a suspected party. So I've heard people say that the guy had to be Chris Manfredonia. They only detained one guy. Well, we know that they detained this guy out of the woods, and we also know that the kids said that they detained a guy outside the firehouse who was face down with handcuffs, which doesn't seem to be that friendly of a detainment. This guy in camo pants from the woods was brought in handcuffs and put in the front of a police car. So it's possible that they could have had him face down with handcuffs on first and then put him in a police car later, but it's probably likely that there was at least two people they had detained. Possibly one. I mean, there's the outside chance that it was the same guy, but he was fitting the suspect's description, wearing the same thing. And we have a guy that they detained and ran his name. So to say that Manfredonia had to be the guy from the woods is just incorrect. There's no way. You're taking a huge jump on that to try to speculate that, and that's pretty much the backbone of the alternative theory to the official story here, which makes a lot more sense than the official story that something was going on with that. You need to look into it. This article is great because the comments are really what just really shines in this. I mean, you gotta just read these comments. They basically tear the article to shreds. And the author of the article also wants to hear your comments and email. So if you could maybe, if you want to get your voice out there as far as this goes, because this is really unfair the way this article's written. That, I mean, they're basically trying to make fun of people for speculating, but that's all this article is. I mean, you're quoting a GLP thread that, I mean, that's all you really have is a GLP thread that's claiming that that was him because his name was ran on the police audio. Okay, well, this guy's name was also ran, and probably numerous other people too. I mean, the Vance said that they detained anyone and everyone who was around. So if anyone can explain the logic to me of why they think that this guy was the guy in the woods from just this two sentences right here, does not indicate anything to me that he was out in the woods running away from police. So maybe I'm missing something here. If someone can explain to me why that's supposedly true, I'd love to know, because to me, I classify that as speculation. If you want to speculate, this guy would be a lot more likely to be the man in the woods. I mean, he was suspected, but anyways, look into it. Check out this article that's supposedly debunking the conspiracy theories, and it will make you be more of a believer. They take out a couple straw men in the beginning, but the meat and bones of it is totally frivolous. So there you go.